What is up? It's me, back on my bullshit. I've done one video and I think I'm a proper YouTuber. We're going to continue this trend with a double review. Which two movies? Well, the best two of 2018, obviously. We've got Slenderman, a couple of months too late, as is the movie, a couple of years too late. Second is the Clovehitch Killer, which came out pretty recently. We're on topic with that one. We're going to start worst to best. Worst, you might have guessed, The Slenderman, Dean Slenderman, 2018. As I said, this movie is about 10 years too late. I remember 2012, 2011 playing Slender the 8 Pages. It wasn't even Slender the 8 Pages at that point. It was just Slenderman, this weird PC thing you downloaded. You thought it would curse your laptop. Play through that. Oh, it's dead scary. He jumps out at you, so pick up pages and they all say things. Scariest shit in the world in 2011. But for some reason, some people thought it was worth making a Slenderman movie. I keep calling him Slenderman.
It's funny.
So what's the last piece of Slenderman news you can think of? Probably the news story about those two girls that stabbed their friend because Slenderman told them to. He said if you stab her in forest, you can come live with me in my big creepypasta mansion with Ben drowned. Smiledog.jpg. Well, if it's not about that news story, because it's not, what could it be about? How about The Ring? Stay with me. Slenderman. So the first thing to know about fucking baubles. One thing to keep in mind about this movie is that there's no main character. There's no character anywhere. That's mainly because going missing isn't a personality trait. The one positive I do have about this movie is that sometimes in dream sequences, camera work was all handheld and it was a bit sort of wavy and floaty and it felt a little bit dreamlike. But it only ever happened when it was a dream within a dream, and at that point... So they tried to set up an internet mythos with this movie, because you might remember that Slenderman started on the internet, much like women, minorities, everything that isn't gamers. So the way the movie goes about this is by setting up a website, not on the dark web or anything, just a subreddit. You go on, you watch a cursed video, and you chat with your pals about it. All these people who presumably then go missing, having posted what they've watched, how it's affected them, and in many cases video evidence of them right before disappearing, and yet the police in this world have no leads to go on. The only realistic part of this movie is the incompetence of the American police force. So the way the movie makes him seem more current in the year of our Lord 2018 is by having him act like a computer virus, kind of. The voiceover in the ending says that he needs us to spread rumours about him and talk about him and Photoshop pictures of him because it gives him power. Just like a real computer virus. That's the movie trying to have subtext. But in the reality of the movie, all you need to do is search Slenderman Cursed Video 2018 Real Must See Free V-Bucks giveaway and you're met with video evidence that Slenderman exists. So why would you need to do fan art of him? In this world, it's much easier to have Slenderman FaceTime you in your own house than it is to learn how to use Photoshop. So one last thing I want to touch on for Slenderman is the idea of monsters being made to reflect some kind of societal taboo or fear. So the creature from the Black Lagoon was an environmentalist thing. He was like, don't pollute, it's bloody bad. Ginger Snaps was about the demonization of womanhood. Slenderman was never meant to mean anything. He just looked cool-ish. Like, if you went back to those games and replaced his model with just, I don't know, an animatronic animal, not only would it probably look cooler and give you more to look at, it'd be scarier, people could draw really sexy fan art of it. I think this has already happened. Now for the second movie, The Clovehitch Killer, and I think I need a bit of a change of scenery. There we go. Okay, we've gone for red, because it's the symbol of violence and blood, passion, all things covered in this next movie, The Clovehitch Killer. So this movie's about how Ned Flanders snaps and proves that the illusion of the nuclear Christian family is a myth because everyone secretly likes bondage. Probably the most wholesome killer to be put to screen this year. Dylan McDermott plays a father of two. He's a scoutmaster. He's just a handyman. He's giving kids the fire-making badges, the badges for not masturbating, But he probably has a dark secret as well, also. The trailer made it out it might not be him, because it was so on the nose, where all the ominous music plays and he's walking and he's talking about boffing his kid in the jaw with a wrench or something, and you think, if there's a mystery here, he has to not be the killer.
Like grabbing one of these tools and wham!
Smacking your kid with the wrench isn't very Christian. So it seemed like there would be some kind of subversion going on, and even though there wasn't, I didn't find myself disappointed with this movie at all. That was largely because when you take away the whomst done it, you're left with the whymst done it. Proud of that. Yeah. So the biggest question I had was how far Ned Flan, what was his name?
Don McDermott.
The character.
Don.
How far would Don go to either keep his secret, kill again, or maybe stop himself killing again because there's some kind of conflict going on? Like, he goes as far as cross-dressing and hanging himself to stave off the need to kill women and take pictures of these kinds of events. So he's trying to satiate the lust there.
Wham!
So Don's temptation is what causes a lot of the tension in these scenes. From about the halfway point onwards, it is this rising wave of tension. It comes and goes, but you know it's there each time. So spoiler talk for a second. The climax of the movie is a confrontation between the father and the son Tyler. And you know that's where it's going because the rest of the movie is clearly leading up to this. So you think the scene being easily foreseeable diffuses some of the tension involved. But what you're forced to wonder is whether or not Ned will kill his son to protect his secret, or perhaps seek salvation and forgiveness of his son in the same way that he has with religion, but clearly failed to do so. It was pretty good. Not perfect, there were some pacing issues. Some of the dialogue between the son and the love interest was a little bit stilted, sometimes intentionally, I thought. He is a repressed Catholic boy with that sweet, sweet BDSM gene in his biology somewhere. So obviously he's going to be quite awkward talking to girls. Also, shout out to his pal, the Thought Slayer. Can't remember his name. Not only was he rampantly misogynistic, but he also beat up Tyler in a fight. Those massive lustful lips he has are not just for show. He is ready to use them and willing. That's going to be it for the double feature. Hope you've enjoyed it. Don't get used to the production values. This is all very high class. I can promise you it is downhill from here. I have to thank Alex for getting out all this equipment for me. She waved. Alex, say hi. Yeah, that's content, ladies and gentlemen. Bye!